Why is it so hard for people with high levels of body fat to lose that weight, to lose that body fat? In this video, that's what we're going to break down and come up with a solution how somebody that's overweight or obese can start to lose body fat. If you're interested in how to lose body fat or get in shape, build muscle, any of those fitness topics, that's what I make videos on Mondays and Thursdays. So if you want to subscribe to this YouTube channel and just click that little bell as well, that's going to notify you when I upload more fat loss videos. First of all, it's in the mind. You don't believe that you can lose body fat. A lot of people who are overweight and obese, the issue is because they have accepted their identity is somebody that's obese. I am fat. That's who I am. That's what I've always been, and that's what I will continue to be. It's a mindset thing. People don't believe that it's actually possible for them to lose body fat. And let me tell you, it couldn't be further from the truth. It's possible for every single person on this planet to lose body fat and to gain body fat. However skinny you are, however overweight or obese you are, you might be 450 pounds, you can still get down to 200 pounds over the course of a few years. Over the course of a few months, you can start to see a change. A lot of the issue this stems from is bullying, or even in some cases family members telling you that you're fat. So a lot of the time it's bullying in school, and because you've been told that you are overweight, because you are fat your whole life, you just accept that that's who you are, and it's been programmed into your mind that that is the type of person you are. And today our goal is to break that. And let me be clear, I'm not telling you that you need to lose weight. I'm trying to educate you that you can lose body fat, that you can get leaner if you want to. To the people out there that say that you can't do it, and to the people that tell you that you can't do it, just ask yourself this question. How many people have they helped to lose body fat? How many people have they helped get in shape? Because I've helped a few people get in shape who are really in a bad situation. People who you look at them and you think that person's never going to be able to change. That person's going to be impossible to teach. And I've still never failed to have success with somebody. I want you to think about your reason why you want to lose this body fat. And I want you to think about your family, maybe your girlfriend, boyfriend, people in your life, and mainly yourself, because it is mainly about you. That's the main thing. When you look at yourself at the moment, I know that you're not happy, because if you was happy, you wouldn't be in this video. You wouldn't be watching this video if you was happy with the way that you are. I want you to think about your kids. I want you to think about your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever that is, whatever those people in your life are that are the most important. Is this the best version of yourself, the current version of you? Are you bringing them the best experience of you? Is this what you want for them? Do you want, if you have kids or you plan on having kids, because you're obese or overweight, do you want to die 5-10 years earlier than you would have? Do you want those kids to not have that extra 5 or 10 years with you because you didn't choose to make a change when you had the chance to? But honestly, it's about you. It's about you feeling like you're making progress, feeling like you're doing the best that you can do and be the best that you can be. When I think about human beings and happiness, I've learned that humans are really only happy when they're moving forward and they're making progress. Humans are not very happy when they stay the same, when they're not improving. It's why a lot of celebrities are depressed. It's why celebrities have a higher suicide percentage than the average population, because the average population looks at that person and thinks, oh my goodness, they've achieved everything. They've had massive goals and they've achieved them, but what made them happy is the process of accomplishing that goal, of getting better, of improving, of working towards something. And when they finally hit that goal, they become depressed, because it's never about the goal. It's never about losing 150 pounds. It's about improving and slowly losing that body fat. The other issue is you don't have anybody around you that's holding you accountable. And you just have people telling you, every time you say I'm going to lose weight or I'm going to get in shape, people just say, oh no, you're okay the way you are. No, you're not. You're not okay the way you are. And like I said earlier, if you was okay the way you are, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. The reason you're watching this video is because you've got a problem and you want to find the solution to it. Having people being soft with you and telling you that you're okay the way you are, you need to ignore those people. Because if you feel like you're okay the way you are, that comes from your own brain, from your own heart. That doesn't come from somebody else telling you that. And if you feel like you're okay the way you are, then you don't need to watch this video. The other sad truth about it, and this is usually a subconscious thing, that people around you tell you that you're okay and you're fine the way you are, is because it makes them feel bad about themselves. When you start to make progress, when you're improving and they're staying the same, it just automatically makes people feel bad about themselves, and you're making them feel bad because you're improving. Now, it's not your fault. Everybody should be improving. That's their own personal choice. But there's a very interesting story about this, and I'll make it a quick one. I learned it actually from another YouTube video that I seen many years ago. And it's basically, there's a man who'd caught some crabs and they're in a bucket on the floor. And he was having a conversation with another man. And the other man said to him, aren't you going to put a lid over this bucket to cover the crabs up so they don't get out? And the fisherman said, no, I don't need to. Just look what happens. And so a crab was climbing up the side of the bucket trying to get out, but what the other crabs would always do is drag that crab back down into the bucket. And this is the same scenario. Every time you try to climb up the bucket, somebody grabs you and pulls you back in onto their level. In just a second, we're going to get into some of the tactics, but let me just say this. The difference between why I can help you and why a lot of other people can't help you is because a lot of other people who make YouTube videos want you to like them. And although it would be nice for you to say that you like me, I would be happy if you said, oh, I like that James, he's a really nice guy, he really helped me out. That's nice, but I really don't care if you like me or not. My goal is to hold you accountable and get you results. I'm not interested in whether you actually like me as a person or whether you don't. It's about the information. Everybody can be helped, as I said before. One type of person that I would be a little bit careful if you fit into this category is if you have a chronic illness or something like that. I want you to talk with your doctor first and even show him or her this video or list the points out and say, do you think it would be healthy for me to try these? Now that rant's over, point number 2 to why people don't lose body fat, the people who are overweight or obese. Now that you've fixed your mind, you understand that mindset side of things, it's because you don't have anybody to help you. If you want something doing in your house, let's say the electrics break, you don't spend 10 years just leaving them and you just have no electric for 10 years. If you have an issue, if you have a problem, such as the electrics in your house have broken, you call somebody up, a professional, an expert, and they come and fix the issue. It's the same thing here. The good news is that you just have me with free YouTube videos, with free comments. You can leave as many comments on these YouTube videos as you like, and I'm going to answer all your questions. If you need an hour or 30 minutes of me answering questions, I will do that for you for free. But that is the main issue, is people don't know where to start. They don't know what to do, and if you don't know what to do, it's so discouraging. You have it in your mind that you want to lose this body fat, but if you don't know how to do it, it can be a real struggle. Like I said at the start, you've got a chance to subscribe to the channel and to click the bell notification to get the 2 free videos that I do every week. Number 3, and then I'm going to provide the solution in just a few seconds, but let's get to the point of why it's so hard to keep the weight off. And this is more applying to someone that's already started to lose body fat, and the reason is because when you start eating less calories, you slow your metabolism down, so your body gets used to eating that lower amount of calories per day, and then your weight loss just stalls. If that has happened to you to where you already know how to start losing body fat by eating in that calorie deficit, which we're going to talk about in a second, but your fat loss stalls, I have a video on how to break through a weight loss plateau. That video is going to give you everything you need to start breaking through that plateau and continue to lose body fat. Step number 4, and this is the solution. This is what we're going to do. So it's not liposuction. That is just complete BS. I don't want anybody to use that. That's just basically patching up the problem, opposed to actually fixing the issue, which is your eating habits. So the first thing we need to do to burn more body fat is to fix your eating. What we need to do here is eat in a calorie deficit. This just means that you're eating less calories, so you're going to burn more body fat, because that body fat's just stored energy. That's all it is. And so when you're eating less calories, your body's going to eat that body fat up to utilize as energy, because you don't have as much calories coming in. So what you need to do is take your body weight in pounds, LBS, multiply that by 10 to 12, and anywhere in that range, eat that number of calories per day. Now, if you are very, very obese, I want you to be patient and start out at the higher end. Like, multiply that by 14 and eat that many calories per day. And when your weight loss stalls, you can then multiply your body weight in pounds by 12. And when your weight loss stalls again, you can multiply it by 10 and eat that many calories per day. So I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, then just message me or send me a comment down below and I'll clear that up again. But the key here is to never go below 10. So you never start to multiply your body weight by 8 or 9. It's always 10 is the absolute lowest, and that's very, very aggressive. If you are overweight or obese, I can guarantee that you have a thing called insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is like a pre-diabetic stage. It's just that point before you become a diabetic. And the reason that's because it's not just how much food you're eating. It's not that you're eating 5,000-6,000 calories a day, although that is the reason that you're gaining body fat, but it's the frequency of eating. We have a hormone called insulin. Every time we put food into our mouths, the insulin levels spike. So the insulin levels will be stable throughout the day. When you spike them, they go up, obviously. So every time you eat, you spike that insulin. If you're eating 10 times a day, and that doesn't mean 10 full meals, that could just be a chocolate bar 5 times a day. You're spiking that insulin that many times throughout the day that it's causing insulin resistance, which every time that you spike insulin, because insulin's this anabolic hormone, anabolic just means that it grows things. So if you're spiking the insulin 10 times a day, 5 times a day, 7 times a day, every time you do that, you're going to be growing your fat cells. This is one of the reasons why you've gained so much weight. It's not just the amount that you're eating, it's about the frequency that you're eating. You're eating too many times. The way that we beat insulin resistance, and insulin resistance is a serious issue, is we incorporate intermittent fasting, and we have 3 meals a day with no snacks. This is how we do it. This is the perfect plan that I've found. I just uploaded an intermittent fasting video not long ago, and I have other videos on how to do intermittent fasting as well. So what I recommend you do is you don't have to think deeply about intermittent fasting. You don't have to make it complicated. All that I say is try to go to bed at the same time every day within an hour, and try to wake up at the same time. Now, some people are going to be in a situation where they can't because of work and other commitments, but most of you will be able to do that. So if you wake up at, let's say, 7 a.m. every day, normally you're going to get up and eat breakfast. What I want you to do is no breakfast, and push that first meal back 3 hours into the day. The first week of doing this, I'm warning you, it is going to be a struggle, but I promise you if you stick with it, you'll get to the point where you wake up, and now that you know you don't eat any food, your body will be used to it. You won't even be hungry after the first few minutes of waking up. So what I want you to do is eat that first breakfast meal that you have at 11 a.m. The other thing that we do to get rid of insulin resistance is we eat 3 meals a day, no snacks. The snacks, again, are the things that spike the insulin, that cause insulin resistance. I'm not saying you can't have one of your favourite snacks if you can incorporate that into your daily calories for the calorie deficit, but what you do is you just eat that snack after a meal. So let's say we eat the first meal at 11 a.m. because, like we said, we're fasting. The next meal you might eat at 3 p.m. So at 3 p.m. you might think, well, I'd love half a chocolate bar or just something a little bit sweeter that I'm incorporating into my nutrition plan, because you have to be able to stick to your nutrition plan. So now what you do, instead of eating that chocolate bar in between meals, you just eat that immediately after your meal. Not only are you not spiking insulin, it's going to also allow you to stick to your nutrition plan because you're eating some foods that you also really enjoy. You then finally would eat your final meal around 7 p.m, 8 p.m, and then you go to bed maybe 9, 10 p.m. One tip that I would give you is don't leave the last meal anywhere than around 2 hours before bed. If you eat your last meal at 6 and don't go to bed till 10, most people are going to go to bed hungry, and you're probably going to go back downstairs and start eating more calories. Another thing that I want you to start doing is thinking about an exercise plan. Now, some people who are really obese aren't going to be able to do the sort of workouts that I would do, but if you can just start doing some push-ups or start putting together, depending on your situation, or again, leaving a comment on the video and letting me help you out with a free training program, something that can get you moving, then I want you to do that. The one thing that I know all of you can do is walking. Now, there are some of you that are in such a bad situation that you can't walk for more than 5 minutes. If that is you, then that's absolutely fine. That's your situation. What I want you to do is walk for that 5 minutes. Everything helps, everything can build up, and you can work on that. So for most of you, I want you to do 30 to 60 minutes of walking, and this is the important part. Do that walking in the fasting period between that 7 a.m. to 11 a.m, or if you wake up at 6, then it's 6 to 10, or if you wake up at 8, it's 8 to 12. Whatever time you wake up, that 3 to 4 hours that you don't eat your first meal, that fasting period with no food, that's when I want you to do your 30 to 60 minutes of walking. that's going to really help you burn a lot more body fat by doing that. If you're in a situation where you can literally only walk a few minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, then that's fine. Spend a week walking for 5 minutes a day in that fasting period, just like everybody else does, and then try to build on that. Next week, say, right, I'm going to walk 6 minutes a day today, and then 7 minutes, and then 8 minutes, and before you know it, months have gone by and you can walk 20 minutes a day. So if that's you, that's the scenario you need to go with. But if you look at the way we've done it here, it's the calorie deficit to burn body fat, it's the 3 meals a day so we don't spike the insulin, and we're also utilising intermittent fasting as well. All of those things combined are going to help you start slowly losing that body fat. And also check out my weight loss plateau video as well if you get to the point where you've stopped losing body fat. And don't forget as well, comment on the video. I can answer any questions that you have.